All right, today I want to talk about the communication breakdown you have when you're not operating on a budget and when you're making your spending decisions based on an overall account balance instead of based on budget category balances. So let's pretend that we have a checking account, okay, and here's our balance. And let's say that it's $280, which for our couple here that we're going to talk about is actually a pretty good amount to have in the checking account. Scary for people that have been using YNAB for a while because your balance would never be that low, but for this couple who's not using a budget of any type, the $280 is actually a pretty good chunk of change for them to have sitting around in their checking account. So you've got this checking account here with this balance. And then we have two different people operating, two spouses. So you've got they've got the lady, they've got the guy, and who should I blame? Well, I'm going to blame both, but who's going to be the kind of the insider of this? Both, because it's a joint thing. This is both of their faults. But we'll have the guy making the spending decision. Okay, so this guy, he's happy because he sees that there's $280 in the checking account, and he's at Home Depot and realizes that he needs a new drill, right? But he needs like a DeWalt, like really nice drill. He sees that there's money, so he's really responsible, right? He whips out his phone and he checks the balance because he's so tied into his balance like that. He checks it and says, oh my gosh, there's $280 in here? That's fantastic. Well, how much is this drill? Oh, this drill's only $190. It's a nice drill. So he says, well, $190, that's easy. We'll have $90 left over. I can, I'm not running us bare bones dry here. So yeah, I'll buy this drill. We need this drill because I'm building the crib for our new baby, and my wife really wants that crib, so she's going to be so happy. I'm seizing the day, buying this drill, going to build this crib on Saturday. She's going to love me, and he just is whistling as he purchases this drill, goes home, draws the account balance down to, what do we got? What did I say it was? So yeah, he has 90 left. Perfectly fine. They're going to be paid in 4 days. So, and he even knows that. He's thought through the whole thing. He's being really responsible because he's thought through all the ramifications. The only problem is, his wife here, she's thinking, that's a bad marker, make it green. She's thinking about this bill. And that checking account balance was $280 because she knew that a bill was coming that was going to be $190, okay? Coincidence that is exactly what the drill cost, pure coincidence. So she's got this bill here, and she's thinking about that and stressing about it, but she's really happy because she's planned for it. And she was being responsible. She made sure that she cut back on groceries a little bit. She made sure not to spend on anything frivolous because she knew that bill was coming due. And it was going to be $190, and she wanted to make sure that that was available. So she's been very responsible. She nails it. She has that money there. That bill comes due. She goes to pay it, and there's two things that can happen. A worst case scenario and a bad scenario. Bad scenario is she checks the checking account balance one last time, and she sees there's only $90. She freaks out. She sees this transaction for $190 from Home Depot. She gets on her phone. So the same phone that he used to check his account balance and be so responsible is now the messenger of a wrathful wife. So she's very upset, and rightfully so. She's been really planning this. That happens. Worst case scenario is she doesn't check the balance because she just had the day before. She knows nothing else has happened. She goes ahead and pays the bill. It drops them down to $100 overdraft, and now they've got this extra overdraft fee, which would probably be $35 and robbery, but that's just the name of the game. So either of those scenarios is very bad. He gets the phone call She calls him, she's mad, she's just so mad. And then he's kind of indignant, kind of saying, well, I was responsible, I did it right. And you can see where this whole thing breaks down really, really quickly. She thought she was doing the right thing, he thought he was doing the right thing, but there's this huge communication divide between the two of them. And that's where the budget comes in and can solve the whole problem. And we can have a much happier, much more blissful arrangement if they were to agree beforehand. So you can imagine if they had a budget for that checking account and there was that $280 in there, you can see what would happen, where he would have known, she would have said, well, we're going to budget $190 to this bill, all right? And he would have seen, well, we have $90 left for whatever. They would have budgeted to other stuff. He would have been in Home Depot, or would have avoided it altogether, knowing they didn't have the money. He would have been in Home Depot and would have known, I can't buy that, I'm just here browsing. And all the workers would be surprised that he was just browsing. So he could whip out his phone in a few months, or I don't know when exactly, but he could whip out his phone and, check his YNAB balance and things like that. But anyway, you can see why the budget would help these two. They communicate, they set goals, and then they don't have those issues that I know have cropped up before. I hear it all the time. So hope that helps. Just one more reason to use a budget, especially if you have shared finances.